Hey guys, I'm Eric Price from SPC Outdoors.
And I'm Court Christie. We just got our new Wac'em broadheads in the mail, and we figured we'd come out here and do a little field testing. Wac'em's a new company for us, and they offer a full line of broadheads from the XL, which is what I'm holding right now. It's the 3-blade fixed blade. They offer a 4-blade, a regular 3-blade, a 2-blade, and even a crossbow broadhead. The broadheads range from 100 to 125 grains, so whatever you prefer. If you're shooting a heavier broadhead, then they have what you need. These broadheads come in packs of 4, like seen. They run about $37 for a pack of 4. Comes with a decal, comes with an extra blade in there, and your 4 lock collars. They're real easy to put together, and we're going to take them out here and give them a little test.
Yeah, so we're going to do 3 different tests today. First, we're going to do the ballistics gel test, just to see how well they penetrate compared to a Muzzy fixed blade. And then we're going to move on to the quartering shot with a 1/2-inch piece of plywood, and we're going to compare the 3-blade 100 grains to a Schwacker 100 grain. Then lastly, we're going to do the durability test, which we're going to shoot into a center block, and we're going to use the 100 grain chisel tip Rage and then 3-blade Wac'em.
Keep watching, see what happens. First is the Wac'em 3-blade 100 grain with a Easton full metal jacket, 330 grains. Our second arrow is going to be the Muzzy 3-blade 100 grain. Same arrow, different broadhead. Let's go take a look at them.
Okay, so we split our gel here, and as you can see, the Muzzy did go a little farther than the Wac'em, but the Muzzy did have less gel to go through, and when we shot the Wac'em, it was a little low, so it got into the wood. But overall, I would say they've performed about the same. Next, we're going to do a penetration test at a quartering shot with the Schwacker 100 grain broadhead from about 15 yards. Up next is the 3-blade 100 grain Wac'em. Let's go take a look.
Alright, everybody's seen the commercial on TV where Schwacker takes their 2-blade broadhead and they shoot it at a quartering piece of plywood. This is 1/2-inch plywood we have here, and it's really at a pretty steep angle from where we were shooting from. We shot about 15 yards, and we decided we wanted to compare the Wac'em to the Schwacker at this quartering shot. This top arrow right here is the Wac'em, bottom is the Schwacker. They both performed really well, went through the plywood and in my block target. So overall, they penetrated pretty good. They didn't slip off. I mean, both good broadheads for making quartering shots. We're going to pull them out and take a look and see how they both held up against a 1/2-inch piece of plywood. As you guys can see, both broadheads held up really well. The Wac'em is still intact, got a nice sharp point. There's no dents or dings in the broadhead. Same with the Schwacker. They both did really well. Schwacker, perfect condition. Same as the Wac'em. I'd still shoot another deer with them. Good.
Okay, next we're going to test durability. Up first is the 100 grain Wac'em 3-blade. It's the same exact broadhead that we used earlier in the quartering test, and we shot it through the 1/2 inch plywood. And we're going to shoot it from about 15 yards at a center block. Up next is the 100 grain Rage chisel tip. We're going to do the same test with it. Let's go take a look.
We just got done shooting a Wac'em 3-blade 100 grain broadhead and a Rage chisel tip 100 grain at 15 yards at a center block to test the durability of both. Right down here is our Wac'em, the first shot. It penetrated about a 1/2 inch, left a nice little hole in the cinder block. Overall looks pretty good. Up here is going to be our Rage hole. Not near as deep, about a 1/4 inch hole, but that's not really what we're after here. We're wanting to see how these broadheads held up. So taking a look at the Rage first, it is really messed up. Arrows are obviously shattered on both of them. That was just going to happen no matter what. But the chisel tip is broke, the blades are bent. I mean, this broadhead is done. Not ever going to be able to be used again. Now we're going to go to the Wac'em. Obviously, arrow shattered, just like the Rage arrow. Had a little bit of trouble finding the broadhead, but we found it laying in the grass. And here's what our Wac'em 3-blade looks like. The blades are still intact. No real dings or dents in the blades, but you know, the tip is obviously dulled quite a bit. Overall though, pretty good for shooting at a solid piece of concrete for a broadhead that weighs 100 grains to hold up that well. I mean, this is a tough broadhead to be able to withstand shooting a cinder block at 15 yards, flying 335 feet per second. Alright guys, we just finished up our last test with the Wac'em broadheads. We put these broadheads to the test against some of the top name brand broadheads on the market, Rage, Schwacker, and Muzzy. Obviously we put them to the test against 2 mechanicals and 1 fixed blade. Kind of did that for a reason, just because we know every broadhead has their flaws, and you know, some have pros and cons. Rage, you know, big gaping wounds, field point accurate, but are they that durable? Probably not. The Schwacker, great for quartering shots. That's their kind of claim to fame. Pretty nice size hole, pretty accurate for the most part. I've shot some Schwackers and not been super accurate with them. So, you know, we threw a Wac'em up there against it, did the same thing a Schwacker did. I mean, it went through the 1/2 inch plywood, quartering shot great. And last off, the Muzzy, you know, probably the top fixed blade broadhead on the market, or at least well known. I think everybody in the hunting industry has heard of Muzzy broadheads, and so we decided to put it to the test against them on penetration and with the ballistics gel. They both performed pretty much the same. Muzzy went a little bit farther than the Wac'em, but the Wac'em also caught a little bit of the board. There's a little bit of a lower shot. So, I mean, overall, in my opinion, they both penetrated the exact same.
Yeah, and then when it comes to durability, you know, the Rage, obviously, it's both arrows were splintered, but I wouldn't use either arrow again. I wouldn't use either broadhead again, but it proves the fact that Wac'em's broadhead did hold up a lot better than a Rage broadhead did versus a center block. I'm not saying everyone's going to go out there and shoot center blocks, but it will blow through a deer's shoulder. So
yeah, so our first impressions on the Wac'em broadheads are really good. This is our first time really getting out here shooting them. We plan on using them this fall. You can check them out at Wac'emArcheryProducts.com. Like I said earlier, a 4-pack of Wac'em broadheads is about $37, $38. Comes with everything you need, decal. They're really good shooting broadheads, guys. They're accurate, they're strong, they're sharp. Overall, in my opinion, I mean, they're a really nice broadhead, and you guys should go check them out.